Happy Saturday, January 13th. So I hope everyone's doing well. So many things are coming through this morning, all of which wind back to the exact same place and space of where I am in this moment, is whatever it is I'm hearing, listening, seeing, sensing, or feeling from any external platforms of information. How does it help me be a really good person in this moment? Does it enhance who I am? Does it create less distraction from some of the Zen calm I may be trying to create for myself? So, is it setting up a different obstacle course for myself to trip over myself because I'm allowing all of these pathways of information to corrupt my system? Corruption means interruption of my homeostasis, which is my balance. And all of that translates into disrupting my peace of who I want to be and how I want to feel. So I know that there's been some discussion about the beings above Miami Mall. And so I've heard an array of things just at glance as I'm toddling and saying things like, some kid opened a portal at the mall and let these beings in. Okay. Other people are saying, here was one that caught me. We are beings from another galaxy and another planet that consists of X amount of planets. And we were in our advanced spaceship flying through when we entered your atmosphere in your galaxy. And we were curious about Earth. So we flew over Earth because we thought we saw some stuff happening over Miami. So when we hovered over Miami, we got out of our spaceship and we could see the reactions of the Earthlings, knowing nothing about them, that they were not aware that there was other beings on any other planet or in any other atmosphere. And that their impression of the Earthlings was, you're ruled by money so that you can have housing and clothing, something that this particular type of being and their species knew nothing about, and were appalled at our primitiveness, our barbaric way of living and programming, and that the reaction in Miami were being shot at. And of course, this is all my interpretation, mind you, because you know how my brain goes. And your police shot at us knowing full well that we were transparent and that the bullets were going right through us and couldn't faze us. And so we entered your atmosphere and came in over Miami against the recommendation from our galactic light force that governs this area. They suggested that we don't interfere with Earth, that we just keep going. But we didn't. We stopped in there. We picked Miami. We hovered physically, translucently above the mall. And y'all shot at us. And then we decided, ooh, peace out. Gotta go. That you guys here on Earth just aren't ready. You're just not ready to accept that there's us light beings elsewhere. And we could teach you, but you're not going to be ready for another 100 years, give or take another 100 or 2 years. So there's just a lot of crazy going on. And it just kept bringing me back to, okay, this is just information. It's just another sensationalizing of something. It's somebody claiming they're channeling or that they have got it from a sacred direct line to some ascended master or being, and that they themselves are special, which is how they can arrive at this information, share it with you. So anyway, there's just a lot of that kind of stuff going on. You can't live on this earth thinking there's all these other planets and we don't know what's going on. And even if we don't know what's going on, we have to believe that there has to be some kind of life force, but we're just kept separate for whatever reasons. But now is the time for evolving and growing. Oh, let me back up just a quick sec. So when these light beings, we're like, peace out, man. We're out of here. We scared you guys over Miami. They went on to talk about the oppressed earthlings and that you should fight for your freedom. And that ended on a note with me of like, wow, what did you just encourage here? What did you just encourage here? And then if you do fight for your freedom, who are you fighting? Who really are you fighting? What acronym of what agency at what level? Who is within those agencies? Who are you fighting? And are you actually fighting among yourselves and creating this degrees of separation that I'm a victim? You came into this earth body to live and have experiences, and each experience and each thing that you're living through is a lesson. And you can look at it good, bad, or indifferent. But what does it teach you? Oh yeah, I want more of that. Yeah, don't no more. Or, oh, okay, well, I would do this again, but if I'm going to do it again, I'm going to tweak it. So, that is the architect within us, physically, mentally, spiritually, etherically, emotionally. We're an architect. We're doing building blocks to become, to evolve, to expand, to ascend, to come out of the dark ages. Dark ages could have been last year's models. Okay? I mean, my gosh. Look back at your iPhone. If you still had an iPhone, whatever the iPhone 1, 2, 4, 6, now you're at 14, 15, and whatever. You look at those as primitive. Before that, you looked at, the cordless, and then you looked at the rotary, and then you looked at no phone, and then you looked at party lines, and we're all here to develop and grow as a collective species. And so as we're growing and evolving, whether another planet has already been there, done that, and we're the new kids on the block, they're letting us play out whatever dance, theater, and life that we call this. We don't really know what is happening. But if we're all up here giving momentum to the mental monkey mind, we're never going to live in the present moment inside this physical body, bearing witness to our internal and external surroundings and how we tick to them. What is the rhythm from within that's experiencing the rhythm from around us? And then how can we harmonize and maybe see if we can catch the beat? Yeah. Create a different symphony, different orchestra, using our instrument differently. How do we hit a note a little differently than we hit it before? And then once we hit it and we feel and see and sense that sound, then we can recognize it moving forward. But then we may find others who are plucking that chord string and feeling the same frequency of a higher, lower, or middle note of whatever it is that's happening. So this is a musical. It's a musical. And it takes some artistic talent to say, hey, I'm going to learn these moves. I'm going to sit still. I'm going to pay attention when I'm walking, when I'm talking, and when I'm thinking. And I'm going to ask, are these thoughts for my productive self? Are these feelings that create more thought, or these thought that creates feelings? Who really knows what the order of that actually is? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and you don't need to dissect it. All you know is you're thinking, you're feeling it. So in this second, in this moment, what do you do with all of that? What do you do with it? And how does it help you achieve being a better person? And then how do you get successful? How do you skill it? How do you hone it in? How do you have some kind of degree of mastery or something? You can work with things that coexist in coherence and harmony with where you are. So this is why Spirit's always like, that's a distraction. Here we are in January. Everybody, once again, is on all this, what's the best diet to be on? Well, how about the best diet for you to be on is the diet that you're on, that you're actually asking. Is what I'm about to ingest or put in my mouth for my highest frequency? Is it for my highest good? And if I really want it, who wants it? What wants it? Is it my emotional request? Is it a mental request? Is it a physical request? What is it? Is it a spiritual request? Why is it I'm craving this? What part, what mechanism is triggering that? And then we're taught that whatever gets triggered is either polar opposites, horrible, or it's so good, right? But what if you took something that you were taught wasn't healthy for you, and you literally had nothing else in your presence to eat? I can bet you would bless it, and you would make do with it, and you would thinketh, and you would feeleth, creating a knowingness that it's for your highest good at this time. Someone brought up the carnivorous diet, the heavy fats, and somebody in East Iceland or something, it was working for them. Because weight is everything. How much you weigh is everything, right? When it has nothing to do with anything, truthfully. It's a way to trip you up. So wherever this was, in this Arctic area-ish, just like the Eskimos, they eat more fatty fish because that's what is in their environment that they can pluck from the waters of eat. And they need a higher fat in their systems to insulate themselves because of the frigid cold temperatures. That's how they live in that environment. You yourself, who could be a skinny little something with no insulation, you'd go there and you wouldn't survive. And in order for you to survive, you would partake of those things provided for you. So we eat the bounty that's provided for us around us. But then we have all this import-export so we can have things from everywhere 24/7 instead of just seasonal. So we get a little bit tripped up on what's the right thing for us and what's not. But what cracks me up is people have this sense of needing to know and have a belonging. If more people belong, there must be a belief. And this belief, because more people are there, must have validity. And so there aren't enough free thinkers to say, you know what, y'all go ahead that way. I need to mull it over. I need to tap into my feeling mechanisms. I need to see if this is right for me. Or can I just tag along and just chalk it up to information? I don't necessarily need to be in your number counting status. I was talking to my aunt, and I have aunts that are just a couple years older than I am because my mom was one of 16. And so I was talking to my aunt, And I was like, I don't know what it is. I never really belonged anywhere. And I kind of liked it like that in some ways because I never felt like I was all in here and all in there and all in over here. And I don't care what spiritual group you're in, I'm never all in because there's a lot of crazy going on there. A lot of division going on and criticism, religion, all these other things. I never could just do it. And she said to me, Sandy, it's because you're a free thinker. You always have a contingency plan. Contingency plan. I went, yeah. And I think that's why sometimes I'll stand and instead of both feet facing this way, one will go a little bit out. So if I'm really listening to something, I will stand like that and then I move because energy and information comes to me through movement. So I love to rock. When I'm rocking, information comes in. I even do it when I'm going to sleep. I'll lay on my side and kind of rock myself and it lulls me into this space of retrieving of information and then being able to transmit it through my body of all these different ways that I communicate. So if I'm really listening to something, I sometimes will look down. I'll say, oh yeah, one half of me is in a contingency plan. So we really do need more now than ever is to stop, drop, sit, connect with our breath, and literally live within the moment and ask every day, all day, and just take what's in front of you at that time frame and ask, what's my mind doing right now? What's my emotions doing right now? What's my physical body doing right now? Is my nervous system in high gear? Am I really receiving what's being distorted? What's being corroded, corrupted, disrupted in my wiring system? Oh, I'm a little more wired than I thought. So where am I on beta? I'm up there. Okay, I recognize it. Connect with that breath. Connect with that breath. Connect with that breath. Get that good old oxygen, carbon dioxide exchange. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Okay. I'm coming down towards simmer. I'm off the boiling pot. Yeah, okay. But I'm still good and hot. Still good and ready. Still can function. Still know my peripheral surroundings. Can still react. Still respond. Okay. And maybe I want to take it down just a little further. Oh yeah, I'm getting into the alpha now. Feeling the creativity. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm going to hover in here a little bit. I think I'm going to be high on that. Yeah. Kind of feels a little bit like that after you eat a big meal coma. But everything's still firing properly. But it just takes you down from... And when you're in these alpha states now, your little more sensitivities are on a different alert system. Wow, you have the cardiovascular, the pulmonary, the digestive, the adrenals, down on a little bit of a lower gear. Now lock that in. Lock that dial in. Yeah. Be with that. And then when somebody brings up a topic and you're like, doggy, let's not. You may not enter here. I'm going to exit over here and I'm just not going to allow it. So you have a lot more love and respect for this hardware system because it's protecting your software system. Both must work synergistically and in tandem. So if you'd like a session, please like, subscribe, and share. Email me at embodimentofthesoul. So much love. You're walking, living, loving, breathing columns of light. And I love you.